The sound of rain tapping against the window was soft, almost comforting, as Ethan sat by the cafe window scrolling through his laptop screen. The dim light from the hanging lamps reflected in his tired blue eyes, the kind of tired that comes from chasing dreams, not from lack of sleep. He was 27, sharp in looks, yet humble in spirit. A freelance app developer with big ideas but small savings. His jeans were worn, his jacket old, but his heart was rich. That's when she walked in. Sarah. She carried herself like the world bent slightly in her favor. Her blonde hair shimmered under the cafe light, and her hazel eyes searched for a seat before landing right beside him. A warm smile curved her lips.
Hey, mind if I sit here?
Sure, go ahead.
Their first conversation was awkwardly sweet, two strangers connecting over burnt coffee and shared ambitions. Sarah was 24, freshly graduated in marketing, full of energy and charm. She talked fast, dreamed big, and laughed easily.
You know, I'm going to work for Daniel & Co. someday, the biggest marketing firm in the city.
And I'll build something so amazing that they'll come asking me to design their app.
So we'll both be successful, in our own way.
He didn't know then that their ways would someday collide and tear each other apart. Weeks turned into months. Ethan and Sarah became inseparable. She loved his simplicity. He admired her drive. He'd show up outside her apartment every morning with a cup of coffee and a small note. "You're stronger than yesterday." She'd send him texts late at night. "Promise me we'll make it big someday." They dreamed of a shared future, a small apartment, 2 laptops, a balcony garden, and the city skyline as their view. But dreams have a strange way of changing when reality offers shortcuts. One evening, Sarah called, her voice trembling with excitement.
Ethan, you won't believe this. I got an interview at Daniel & Co.
He froze for a second. That was her dream job, but also a place full of sharks.
That's amazing, Sarah. I'm proud of you.
Mr. Daniel himself is leading the panel. Imagine, the CEO interviewing me personally.
That name, Daniel. He'd heard of him, a ruthless yet charming man in his 40s, known for his charisma and power. When Sarah got the job, Ethan celebrated her success. They toasted cheap champagne on their apartment floor, laughing about how far they'd come. But slowly, she started changing. The distance begins.
Daniel needs me to stay for a campaign presentation.
Daniel invited the team for dinner. Daniel says I have potential. The name Daniel became a third presence in their relationship. Silent, but powerful. Ethan tried not to question it, though his heart grew heavier with every excuse. She wore new clothes, carried herself differently, started speaking in corporate tones. He remained the same, humble, hardworking, hopeful. It was raining again when Ethan stood waiting outside her office with an umbrella, hoping to surprise her. Through the glass doors, he saw her, laughing with Daniel, his hand resting on her shoulder a little too long, her smile a little too familiar. Ethan's world paused. He turned and walked away. That night, she came home late. Her perfume wasn't the same, richer, expensive, her words, colder.
Ethan, I think we need to talk.
You got promoted?
No, I think we've outgrown each other.
He didn't argue, didn't cry, didn't beg. He only said one line that would echo in her mind years later.
Maybe you'll understand what you lost when you finally get everything you wanted.
And then he walked out, leaving behind the girl he once loved and the dream they once built together. The city looked different when Ethan walked alone through it. The same streets that once smelled of rain and coffee now felt heavier, every light a reminder of what he'd lost. For weeks, he barely spoke. His small apartment became a maze of code, sketches, and empty mugs. The only sound was the hum of his laptop and the occasional buzz of his phone, notifications he never opened. But heartbreak has a strange alchemy. It can destroy you, or it can rebuild you into something stronger. Ethan chose the second path, the spark. One morning, while scrolling through developer forums, he read a post. Small business owners need simple marketing automation tools, something user-friendly. The idea hit him like lightning. What if he built an app that allowed local shops to handle digital marketing themselves? No expensive agencies, no middlemen like Daniel & Co. He opened a new project file and named it Rise. Weeks turned into months. He coded 16 hours a day, taught himself advanced analytics, built mock-ups, tested prototypes. There were nights when exhaustion blurred his vision, but every time he thought of Sarah laughing beside Daniel, his fingers found strength again. The breakthrough. A year later, Rise was ready. A minimalist design, a powerful algorithm. Ethan poured his heart into it, the same heart Sarah once broke. He posted a demo online with the caption, "For every small dream that was told it wasn't enough." The video exploded overnight. Within 2 weeks, startups and investors began contacting him. By the third month, he'd registered his own company, E-Tech Innovations. By the sixth, venture capital firms were lining up to invest. The call that changed everything. Late one evening, his new assistant knocked on his office door.
Sir, there's a company interested in partnering with us, Daniel & Co. They're struggling with their digital campaign.
Ethan froze. For a second, all the old memories flashed before him. Rain, laughter, betrayal. He smiled slowly.
Tell them, he said. We'll schedule a meeting next week, in my office.
The transformation. In the mirror, Ethan barely recognized himself. Gone was the humble freelancer in a worn-out jacket. Now stood a confident young CEO in a tailored navy suit, calm eyes, sharp jawline, the man Sarah never believed he could be. He wasn't angry anymore. He wasn't even bitter. He was focused. Sometimes revenge isn't about destruction. It's about success so loud it silences the ones who doubted you.
You left me for power, Sarah. Now I am power.
The conference room smelled faintly of cedar and ambition. Polished glass walls, soft LED lights, and a long black table reflected the morning sun. Ethan stood by the window, hands in his pockets, watching the skyline. He'd been here before, not in this exact room, but in this feeling. The edge of confrontation, the calm before the storm. Only this time, he held the higher ground. The door opened.
Sir, the delegation from Daniel & Co. has arrived.
Send them in.
A moment later, 3 people entered. 2 unfamiliar faces, and 1 unforgettable, Sarah. She was exactly as he remembered, yet different. Her once carefree smile was forced now, her eyes scanning the room before they found his. When they did, the color drained from her face.
Ethan?
He turned, calm and measured, offering the kind of polite smile CEOs give during negotiations.
Miss Carter, welcome to E-Tech.
Daniel, standing beside her, didn't even flinch. He extended a hand.
Mr. Ethan Gray, pleasure to finally meet you. We've heard a lot about your company.
Ethan shook his hand, firm and cold.
Likewise, Mr. Daniel. Please, take a seat.
Mia poured coffee, the sound of liquid filling porcelain the only noise in the tense air. Ethan took his seat at the head of the table. Daniel began the presentation. He spoke about declining campaign results, poor engagement, the need for a fresh and dynamic partner. Ethan listened, expression unreadable. His eyes, however, occasionally flicked towards Sarah. She sat silently, trying to act professional, but her trembling hands betrayed her. When Daniel finished, Ethan leaned forward.
So, to summarize, your company is losing clients, and you believe we can fix that, correct?
Exactly. We need your tech to rebrand our image.
Interesting. Because a few years ago, your company and your people had no faith in my ideas.
Sarah's breath hitched. Daniel looked confused. Ethan continued, his tone sharp as glass.
I was once part of your team, a small developer with big ideas. You ignored me. Then, you took what was mine.
I'm sorry, what are you implying?
Ethan's gaze cut to Sarah. Sarah's lips parted, panic flickering in her eyes. Trembling inhale.
Ethan, please, not here.
You two know each other?
Ethan chuckled softly. You could say that. He stood up slowly, placing both hands on the table. She was my girlfriend, until she decided her career mattered more than loyalty. Until she left me for you.
The silence that followed was suffocating. Daniel looked between them, realization dawning.
Ethan, I made mistakes, but I never meant to.
Stop, this isn't personal, not anymore.
Then, with an icy smile,
Business only.
he walked to the screen, clicked the remote, and the E-Tech logo appeared.
This is the platform that's redefining marketing analytics. The same concept I once pitched to your company, before you rejected it.
Daniel's jaw tightened.
And now, if you want access to our services, you'll do it my way, under my terms.
He turned to Sarah one last time.
You see, Sarah, fate has a sense of humor. You left me for the CEO, but now I'm yours.
Her eyes glistened with shame and disbelief.
We'll discuss this later, Sarah.
He stormed out, slamming the door behind him. Sarah stayed frozen in her chair.
Ethan, I didn't come here to hurt you again. I came because I still believe in you.
He didn't respond, just turned his back, looking out the window.
Belief doesn't erase betrayal.
The sound of her quiet sobs filled the silence before she finally walked out. When she was gone, Ethan exhaled slowly. His assistant entered, hesitant.
Sir, are you all right?
Better than ever.
Because for the first time the pain didn't control him anymore. He did. The next few days at E-Tech were a blur of meetings, media attention, and silent storms behind glass doors. Ethan's comeback had made waves in the industry. The man who was once ignored had now bought half the market. But beneath the triumph, there was something else. Unease. Because success had finally brought him face to face with the woman who'd broken him, and though he'd won the war, the battlefield inside him was far from calm. It was 9 a.m. Ethan's office door opened quietly. His assistant Mia peeked in.
Sir, Miss Sarah Carter is here again. She says it's important.
Ethan didn't look up from his laptop.
She's not part of this company, Mia. Tell her to make an appointment.
She said she'll wait all day if she has to.
That made him pause. Slowly, he closed the laptop.
Fine, send her in.
Sarah entered the office carefully, clutching a folder to her chest. She looked tired, her perfect posture slightly bent, her eyes softer now, almost defeated.
Ethan, thank you for seeing me.
You've got 5 minutes.
I didn't come here to talk about business. I came to tell you what really happened.
Oh? You mean besides choosing Daniel over me?
Her voice trembled.
It wasn't that simple.
Ethan let out a bitter laugh.
It never is.
Daniel offered me a position I thought I couldn't refuse. My parents were drowning in debt, Ethan. I was trying to save them. I didn't know he'd use me to hurt you.
Her words hit him like shards of glass. He wanted to stay cold, but something in her tone, that same vulnerability from years ago, pulled at him.
You could have told me. I would have helped you.
You had nothing back then, just dreams. And I was scared of losing everything.
So you lost me instead.
Tears filled her eyes.
I regret it every day.
She took out the folder and placed it on his desk.
This is a proposal I worked on myself. Not Daniel's, not his team's, mine. I know you don't trust me, but at least look at it. If it's not good enough, I'll walk away and never come back.
He hesitated, then flipped open the file. The plan was solid, strategic, ambitious, even brilliant. It was exactly the kind of pitch he would have written years ago.
You wrote this?
Yes, because you taught me to dream bigger, even if I learned it the hard way.
There was a long silence.
You've changed.
I had to. Losing you changed everything.
Before he could respond, the door burst open. Daniel stormed in, face red with fury.
So it's true. You came running back to him.
Daniel, please.
Save it. You think you can betray me now? After everything I gave you?
This is my office. You don't get to raise your voice here.
You think you've won, don't you? I built this empire long before you even mattered.
Funny, because I just got the call from the board. They've chosen E-Tech as the new strategic partner. Looks like the empire's changing hands.
Daniel's face twisted with rage.
Stop it, both of you.
Security rushed in, pulling Daniel back.
This isn't over, Gray. You'll regret this.
I already did, years ago.
When it was over, Sarah stood trembling.
I'm sorry, he's been unstable lately. I didn't mean for this to happen.
You should go home, Sarah.
Will you read the rest of my proposal?
Yes.
She smiled faintly. As she turned to leave, Ethan watched her go, conflicted, because no matter how much he tried to hate her, the part of him that once loved her refused to die. That night, Ethan sat alone in his penthouse, the city lights glittering below. He opened her file again. Her ideas weren't just good, they were revolutionary. He closed it slowly, staring out the window.
Maybe people can change.
But then his phone buzzed, an anonymous message. Be careful, she's playing both sides again. His heart froze. The night the anonymous message arrived, Ethan didn't sleep. He kept replaying Sarah's words in his head. I regret it every day. He wanted to believe her. God, he really did. But the warning echoed louder than her tears. By morning, the decision was made. He wouldn't confront her directly. Not yet. Instead, he'd do what CEOs do best. He'd investigate quietly. Ethan called his most trusted employee, Mark Lawson, head of internal security.
Mark, I need you to dig into something for me. Discreetly.
What are we looking for?
Sarah Carter. Everything. Emails, financials, connections to Daniel's company. All of it. If she's lying, I want to know before it's too late.
Ethan, are you sure you want to do this? You still care about her.
That's exactly why I have to.
2 days later, Sarah was back at the company, this time with a formal badge, an office of her own, and the role of strategic consultant. Everyone whispered about her return. The ex who had betrayed him was now part of his empire, but Ethan had a reason. He needed her close to see what she'd really become. And as he watched her work through the glass wall of his office, he couldn't deny the truth. She was brilliant, confident, focused, and every time she smiled at him, something inside him melted just a little more. That evening, as they wrapped up a late meeting, Sarah turned to him.
Ethan, you've been distant. I know I hurt you, but can we at least talk? Not as CEO and consultant, but as two people who used to mean something to each other. There's a little restaurant near Central Park, the same one where we had our first date.
Ethan froze for a moment, then nodded. 7 p.m., he said finally. Don't be late.
When he arrived, the restaurant was dimly lit, candles flickering across every table. Sarah was already there, wearing a simple black dress, her hair loose, her expression calm but vulnerable.
You came.
I said I would.
For a while, they talked, about work, about life, about the years they lost, and for the first time, the distance between them didn't feel so heavy. Then she said it, the thing he didn't expect.
Ethan, I never loved Daniel.
He looked up sharply.
I loved you, always have.
You don't get to say that now, Sarah. You don't get to walk back into my life like nothing happened.
I'm not asking you to forget. I'm asking for a chance to make it right.
The tension between them grew electric. Old memories returned. The night they first kissed under the rain, the promises they made, the heartbreak that followed.
I want to believe you.
Then do.
Their lips were inches apart when his phone buzzed on the table. A message from Mark. Found something. You need to see this. Now. Ethan froze.
Everything okay?
Work emergency. I have to go.
Ethan.
We'll talk tomorrow.
And he walked out before the pieces of his heart could betray his logic again. Back at his penthouse, Mark was waiting with a laptop open.
What did you find?
You're not going to like it.
He turned the screen toward him. There it was, a series of recent email exchanges between Sarah and Daniel's legal team. Subject line, joint venture strategy, final step.
So she's working with him again.
And the last message was sent this morning.
Ethan leaned back, staring at the city skyline outside. He'd almost fallen for her again. Almost believed the tears, the regret, the second chances. But now, he knew. She hadn't come back for love. She'd come back to destroy him. One deal at a time.
Mark, he said, I want every trace of her gone by tomorrow morning. Pull her access, lock her files, and schedule a press release.
Press release? For what?
For my engagement.
Morning broke with a cold gray light over New York. Ethan stood by the massive window of his penthouse, untouched coffee cooling beside him. Below, the city pulsed with life, but inside him, there was only silence, the kind that follows betrayal. He had the power now. He had the truth. But something inside him whispered, what if it wasn't the full story? He shook the thought away. Logic, facts, evidence. That's what mattered. And the evidence said Sarah Carter had betrayed him twice. By 9 a.m., every major business outlet carried the headline, Ethan Miller, CEO of Sterling Corp., announces his engagement to Grace Thompson, corporate strategist. The internet exploded. Grace, his longtime colleague and quiet supporter, had no idea what she was walking into. When she saw the press release, she stormed into his office.
Ethan, what the hell is this?
Damage control.
Damage control? You're marrying me for PR?
No, I'm marrying you because it sends a message.
To who, Sarah?
He didn't answer. And that was enough of an answer. When Sarah entered Sterling Corp that morning, whispers followed her like shadows. Her badge didn't work. Her emails were locked. Her face turned pale as she hurried up to Ethan's office, only to be stopped by security.
I'm sorry, Miss Carter, you're not authorized to enter.
Tell him I need 5 minutes.
The elevator opened, and there he was. Ethan stepped out, sharp in a black suit, surrounded by cameras. Reporters were shouting questions about his engagement to Grace. When he saw Sarah, his jaw tightened, but his expression stayed calm, professional, distant.
Congratulations. You move on fast.
Unlike some people, I don't pretend to love someone while working for their enemies.
What are you talking about?
He handed her a printed email, the one Mark had found. Her hands trembled as she read it.
This isn't what you think.
Save it. Security will escort you out.
Ethan,
He turned away before she could finish, walking toward Grace as flashbulbs exploded around them. The world saw a powerful CEO in control, but inside Ethan felt like he'd just burned down the last bridge to his heart. That night, Sarah sat alone in her tiny apartment, her phone buzzing nonstop. News outlets had painted her as the manipulative ex-girlfriend. Social media called her a gold digger, and the man she still loved wouldn't even hear her out.
Daniel, what have you done?
Because now, everything clicked. The timing of the emails, the phrasing, the signatures, it wasn't her, it was him. Daniel had sent those messages in her name, using her old corporate login. He wanted Ethan to destroy her reputation, so she'd have no one left. Sarah didn't wait. She broke into her old company's database using an old access key. Her hands shook as she scrolled through logs, timestamps, IP addresses, and there it was. Every single fake email had been sent from Daniel's personal office network. She printed the proof, packed her bag, and left for Sterling Corp. She didn't care if she got arrested for trespassing. Ethan had to see this. "Sir, Miss Carter is here again. Says it's urgent."
Let her in.
Before you throw me out again, just look at this.
He frowned, taking the papers. Then his eyes widened. The IP trace, the digital signature, the date logs, every detail pointed back to Daniel Rossman, his former CEO, and Sarah's ex.
I told you, she said, voice breaking. He used me, Ethan, the first time and now again. I didn't betray you.
Why didn't you tell me sooner?
Would you have believed me?
Silence filled the office. Outside, thunder rolled through the city. Ethan walked to the window, staring out into the storm. Everything he'd done, the press release, the humiliation, the anger, had been based on a lie.
He turned back to her, voice low. I destroyed you!
Tears rolled down her cheeks, and I still came back to save you.
For a long moment, neither moved. Then Ethan took a slow step forward, his voice barely a whisper.
Sarah.
Don't, she said, stepping back. You have Grace now.
I don't love Grace.
Her eyes flickered up. Then what do you love?
You, he said quietly, even when I shouldn't.
The distance between them vanished. He cupped her face gently, his thumb brushing away her tears, and before either of them could think, he kissed her. It wasn't the kiss of new love, it was the kiss of forgiven love, of two souls who had broken each other, yet still found their way back. Grace stood watching from the corridor, silent, still, furious. Her phone buzzed. A message from Daniel. Told you he'd go back to her. You know what to do next. She typed back one word, done, and hit send. The night the anonymous message arrived, Ethan didn't sleep. The storm outside had calmed, but inside the glass tower of Sterling Corp, everything was about to break. Ethan and Sarah stood close, the faint city lights reflecting in their eyes. After years of pain, misunderstanding, and betrayal, they were finally honest. But love had never been their only battle, not in a world where power could twist truth into poison. The next morning, Ethan arrived at work to a nightmare.
Sir, there's a problem. An urgent one. Someone's leaked confidential data to the press.
What kind of data?
Private internal contracts, future merger details, even your company's acquisition plans.
What? Who the hell?
Before he could finish, his phone buzzed. Breaking news. Sterling Corp faces investigation over leaked trade secrets. Grace Thompson's name was trending right beneath his, but her statement to the media was worse.
I warned Ethan Miller that his obsession with his ex, Sarah Carter, was ruining his judgment. I can no longer be part of a company led by someone blinded by personal revenge.
Ethan's hands clenched. Grace, his trusted partner, had turned on him, and the leak? He didn't even need to guess. Daniel Rossman. By noon, Ethan's empire was under fire. Stocks plummeted, investors panicked, and Daniel stepped into the chaos like a vulture, holding a press conference of his own.
I only wanted to help. But Sterling Corp's leadership has been compromised by emotional misconduct.
Reporters devoured it. The perfect story. The fallen CEO, the scandal, the ex-lover. Sarah watched it live, hands trembling. She knew Daniel wasn't finished. Her phone rang, a private number. When she answered, his voice was ice.
Still think you can save him, Sarah? I built him. I can destroy him again.
Why, Daniel? Why are you doing this?
Because he took everything that was mine. You, the company, the spotlight. Now I'll take it back. And this time, he'll beg me to stop.
The call ended. Sarah didn't waste a second. She grabbed her laptop and ran. By midnight, Ethan's office was a war room. Security feeds blinked across screens. IT teams traced digital footprints through encrypted firewalls. And then, they found it. Grace's computer had been used to leak the files, but the origin point was Daniel's server.
He used her, just like he used me.
Ethan looked at her, tired, broken, but determined. No, not this time.
He opened a folder labeled Project Aegis, Sterling's internal cybersecurity AI, still in prototype. It could trace, decrypt, and expose any live data breach.
If we activate this, we expose everything, even your personal files.
The program launched. Lines of code filled the screen like lightning. Within minutes, the system began pulling hidden communications, emails, calls, transactions, all connected to Daniel Rossman and Grace Thompson. It wasn't just sabotage, it was blackmail, insider trading, and corporate espionage.
He's going to prison for this.
And I'll make sure of it.
He pressed send. Every document, every recording, sent directly to the Federal Investigation Unit. 2 days later, the FBI stormed into Rossman Global's headquarters. Daniel was arrested on live television. Grace tried to flee, but her deal with Daniel was in every email, every transaction. The internet exploded again, but this time, the narrative flipped.
Ethan Miller, the CEO who exposed the empire of lies.
He didn't smile. He didn't celebrate. He just stood on the balcony of his office, watching the city that had both broken and built him. That night, Sarah visited his office. She looked at him, her expression soft and tired. It's over, yeah, finally, but there was no joy in victory, just quiet relief. You saved me again, and I almost destroyed you twice. Maybe we both needed to fall, to understand what we really wanted.
And what's that? Peace. Even if it means letting go.
Her eyes met his. One last time, then she turned to leave. Ethan didn't stop her this time, because for once, love didn't mean possession. It meant freedom. A soft sunrise painted the city gold. Ethan stood before a classroom of young entrepreneurs, guest lecturing about resilience and ethics. No suits, no cameras, just honesty. From the back of the room he heard a quiet laugh, soft, familiar. Sarah. Their eyes met, and both smiled. No promises, no pain, just peace. Sometimes, love doesn't return to heal you. It returns to remind you, you survived.